Today, we are going to learn how to create bar charts using Python and Altair through 5 clear and different examples. Each example will teach us a new idea, not just a small visual change. Before we start, we need to install the required Python modules. I have already run the installation command earlier, so I won't run it again here, but make sure you install the required modules on your own machine before continuing. Alright, let's start with the first example. We begin with a very basic bar chart. Here, our goal is simply to compare values across categories. We have a small data set that contains product names and their sales values. In this example, pay attention to how the chart is built. First, the data is structured in a table-like format. Then, we map the product names to one axis and the sales values to the other. Finally, we define the size of the chart and give it a title so it's easy to understand. There is nothing fancy here, and that's intentional. This example shows the core purpose of a bar chart, comparing magnitudes. Now that we've explained the logic, let's run it and see what happens. When you run the code, you will notice that an HTML file is created. Go ahead and open that file in your browser. What we see is a clean bar chart, where each product is represented by a bar, and the height of each bar shows its sales value. With just one look, we can immediately tell which product sells the most and which sells the least. For this first example, it's also good to know that you can export this output not only as HTML, but also as PNG or SVG, depending on how you want to use the chart in reports or presentations. Alright, now let's move on to the second example. In this example, we are no longer just comparing values. Instead, we are answering a performance question. Who reached the target and who didn't? The data represents salespeople and their revenue. We define a clear target value, and this target becomes the key idea of the chart. The most important part here is how color is used to encode meaning. Bars turn green when the target is reached, and red when it is not. This means the viewer does not need to read exact numbers. The message is immediately visible. Once again, let's run it and see what happens. An HTML file is created, so open it in your browser. Now the chart is doing more than comparison. It is clearly telling a story. Who is successful and who is falling behind? This is a very common pattern in dashboards and KPI reports. Great, let's continue with the third example. This time, we change the question completely. Now we are interested in how a total value is made up of different parts. Our data represents departments, and each department has different types of costs. Instead of showing one bar per department, we stack multiple values on top of each other. The key idea here is that the total height of the bar shows the total cost. The colored segments show how that cost is divided. This is what we call a part-to-whole relationship. Alright, let's run it and see what happens. Again, an HTML file is created. Open it in your browser. Now we can compare departments, but we can also see why one department is more expensive than another. This is something a simple bar chart cannot show on its own. Let's move on to the fourth example. Here we focus on ranking. The data shows populations of cities in the United States. Notice that this time the bars are horizontal. This is a very intentional choice. When we sort the cities from highest to lowest and place them on a vertical axis, the ranking becomes extremely clear. Your eyes naturally go from top to bottom, following the order. Now, let's run it and see what happens. Open the generated HTML file in your browser. Immediately, we can see which city has the largest population and how big the differences are. This is why horizontal bar charts are often the best choice for rankings. Finally, let's look at the fifth and last example. In this example, we introduce context. The bars show fuel consumption for different car types, but bars alone are not enough. So we add a reference line that represents the average fuel consumption across all cars. This single line completely changes how we read the chart. Now, instead of just seeing values, we can answer a deeper question. Which cars are above average and which are below? Alright, let's run it and see what happens. Open the HTML file in your browser. The red line gives immediate meaning to the bars. Some cars clearly consume more fuel than average, while others are more efficient. This is a powerful technique for adding insight without adding complexity. And that brings us to the end of our 5 examples. If you want to continue learning Python, make sure to check out the courses section on the channel. You can find many Python courses there that you can watch for free. To support us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the community. Keep learning and see you in the next lesson.